That's right. We are live. What is going on out there this morning, guys? Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of literally around 7. Here we are. I'm back in the desert. Traveled yesterday from Hayden, Colorado. Steamboat's airport, about 20 miles west of Steamboat. And, from wheels up to wheels down from Hayden to Denver is only 29 minutes. But I got to tell you, this time of year, it is rock and roll. It is turbulence central going over the Rockies in that little commuter jet. Boom. So anyway, made it safe, got to Denver, and then flight from Denver to Palm Springs, got in here last night. And so here we are, 7 a.m. Pacific. And what I've got for you is, we're going to continue to follow along this theme that we've been doing all week, which is in the mental part of the game, helping you get from that practice mindset to where you feel pretty comfy out there. Court 4, Berkeley Tennis Club, same guy, Thursday mornings, blah, blah, blah. What could go wrong? And then, of course, Saturday comes along, and then you got to play the real deal. Could be a league match, could be a tournament at a different venue, at an unknown opponent. The next thing you know is we start to get a little tight in the throat, right? And so I want to help you feel in those matches that count, right? How do you get comfortable out there, right? How do you trust that whatever you've been working on in practice can actually come out without you having to tighten up, without you having to kind of get nervous and all that stuff? And there is a process. I've got a brand new course coming out that I keep telling you it's going to be tomorrow. I think it's going to be tomorrow. I lost a day yesterday with a travel thing, so it may be not quite tomorrow, but I promise it's coming. Down below in the description area, there is a link that will take you to a 1-question anonymous questionnaire that I'd love for you to spend less than 60 seconds just filling out. Just letting me know what's your number one question about the mental part of tennis, right? About the mental skills required. What's going on in terms of maybe a specific situation? And today's topic is actually based on something that someone wrote in there, which, look, it might sound kind of goofy, which is, oh, please don't let me lose love to this guy, right? And I've had that thought. I'll be the first one to admit it. I recently did an interview with Phil Landauer, the great 44-time gold baller, Phil Landauer. And we chuckled about this thought that kind of comes in our mind that you walk out in the court, right, for a tournament match, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, man, I hope I don't go down in flames today 0-0, right? Especially to this guy. And this guy, quote unquote, this guy could be, could be the top seed in the tournament, could be one of the top players, could be someone that you feel like is getting better, right? That maybe you've handled in the past before, but now, he's kind of closing the gap and you're not sure. And the thought is kind of that embarrassing thing. Well, what if I lose love to this guy today? And look, let's kind of dig into that thought. First of all, when you look at it on paper, you kind of think, well, that's the most negative way that we could be possibly thinking about as we step on out on the court for this match. And it is. And so at some point you have to understand that, sure, is it a possibility that you could lose love to this guy today? Of course, it's always a possibility. On the flip side, is it a possibility that he's thinking or she's thinking the same thing about you, about, I hope I don't lose to, love. I mean, you could beat a guy 0-0. And look, I've done that before, right? I've gone out on the court with a guy who I know is playing great, and I've watched him in the tournament, and here we are in the quarterfinals, and I've watched him for a couple of rounds. I'm going, man, he's just going through everybody like a knife through butter, right? I hope I don't lose 0-0. And the next thing you do is you go out there and you win 0-0, right? So I think that at some point we have to be a little less emotional, a lot less emotional about some of these thoughts that we have, and a lot more intellectual, which is going to be, sure, I could lose 0-0. I could win 0-0. So somewhere in between is most likely what's going to happen, right? That's the reality of it. I mean, you go out there with someone who's a hair better than you are you going to lose 0-0? Probably not. Are you going to go out there against someone who's exactly at your skill level and lose 0-0? Probably not. Right? Are you going to beat these guys 0-0? Probably not. So it's going to happen somewhere in between those two thoughts. And a lot of this stuff's just uncontrollable. All that you can do when you go out there every day for a match that counts, is have a little bit of that attitude of, and I got to make sure that you understand what I'm talking about when I say this, is there's got to be a little bit of an attitude of, you know what, I'm going to give it my best shot, but in the end, I don't care. Whoa, I don't care. Of course you care. And of course you want to win. And of course, all the other stuff. But there's so many negative thoughts that are based on, just pure raw emotions, whether it's some guy that you just can't stand. Let's be real, right? And you don't want to go down to this guy. Even if it's 6 in the third, you don't want to go down to this guy, right? But certainly you don't want to lose 0-0 because, man, the social implications, are way over the top, right? So, look, I think if we really step back and we look at some of the thoughts that we bring to the game of tennis, especially in these competitive situations where the match result is going to be made public, we can go pretty goofy with some thoughts in terms of, oh, please don't let me lose 0-0 to this guy. And so what I would encourage you to do, and I'm the first guy to admit, and Phil Landauer will be the second guy to admit, we've had those thoughts, right? And it's rarely brought up and yet it's real. And so, but if you step back from those thoughts and you look at them and you write them down on paper and you kind of go, why would I think like this? What possible positive mindset, confidence thing am I setting up for myself in today's match if I think like this? Which is, it might not be, oh, please don't let me lose love and love to this guy, but it could be, oh, please don't let me lose to this guy, right? So we got to take more control of how we think. And in this course, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to get into, hopefully tomorrow, might be this weekend, hang in there with me. But I want to give you some practice arena stuff that you can do to think in practice, to start to build the right habits, the right mental habits, that when you go out to play the real deal, that you won't be thinking like this. You won't be thinking, oh, please, don't let me lose love and love to this guy. I mean, you'll have a completely different mindset. So hope that makes sense. It's real. Look, here's what I want you to do. If you haven't already done so, down below in the description area, there is a link. I mentioned this earlier, but I really want you to, and again, it's anonymous. I don't know who's leaving, their feedback or their responses. Certainly, if you want to get, a little more detailed and you want some coaching on it, you can shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. But for now, down below in the description area, click that link. It'll take you over to that one question, anonymous questionnaire. I'd love to hear from you about, the mental part of your game. What question do you have? What challenge do you have? What problem do you want to get rid of in the mental part of the game? And look, part of the course is going to be a bonus section in there where I'm going to cherry pick maybe 10, maybe more, of the dozens of responses that I've gotten. And I'm going to answer them. I'm going to, since it's anonymous, no one knows who it is, but I'm going to go ahead and pick out, let's say, a dozen or so of those responses and answer them directly, right? So that becomes a bonus part of the course. Again, that link is down below in the description area. Guys, that's it, man. I got to get ready. I'm going to get out there with a big O this morning on the grass in about 20 minutes. It's blowing out here this morning. A little bit of wind. hopefully it'll, calm down a little bit. And oh boy, I sure don't want to lose love and love to that guy. No. All right. Take a chill. Everyone calm down. All right, guys, that's it for me today. It's time. All of us, we got to get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. I'll see you again.